Hi, I'm Ray Owens. I own the websites SquareDanceTech.com and WeaveTheRing.com. It's my self-appointed task to drag square dancing into the 21st century. Not sure which one of us is doing more of the screaming and kicking about this, me or square dancing. This video is the first of three to introduce you to the website Canva.com. I'm not affiliated with Canva, I'm not paid by them, I'm not being endorsed by them. Heck, it's doubtful that they even know that I'm alive. But I've been using them for years to generate marketing materials, now not only for my real world away from square dancing business, but also for square dancing. One of the things that Canva does a very good job at is making flyers. One of the things that square dancing in general is really bad at is making flyers. Think about all the flyers you see on the flyer table at dances. They are, for the most part, amateurish at best, which is not surprising, as the creators of those are amateurs. They're not professional graphic designers. Well, I'm not a professional graphic designer either, but I do know that our marketing materials, yes, including flyers, have to be as close to professional grade as possible. We're always trying to recruit new dancers, of course, and our marketing materials have to compete with everything else coming out of Madison Avenue in Hollywood. This video will show you how to get started with Canva and create your first eye-catching, eye-pleasing flyer. We're going to take this flyer and we're going to turn it into this flyer. And you don't need any graphic design experience whatsoever to accomplish this. If you can click a mouse and type on a keyboard, you'll do just fine. So, let's get started. The web address you're going to is canva.com. That's Canva.com. The first thing you'll need to do is create an account. Click Sign Up from the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Then you have a choice of using your Google or Facebook account or signing up with your email. Once you've completed that step of the sign up, you'll probably get a confirmation email. Follow the instructions to complete the sign up. Now, after you get logged in, you can see that Canva does a lot more things than just flyers. It's a complete promotion site which allows you to create posters, resumes, business cards, and a slew of other items. But for the purposes of these lessons, we're going to concentrate on just flyers. Oddly enough, the default flyer that Canva offers is only 8.5 by 5.5 inches, and we want 8.5 by 11. So to do that, click the Custom Size button in the upper right corner, change the drop down from px to in, that's pixels to inches, and then put 8.5 in width and 11.0 in height, and click Create New Design. On the left side of the screen, the vertical menu defaults to Templates. Right next to the menu, you'll see all the templates Canva has to offer. Now, the vast majority of Canva's tools are free to use. As you scroll your mouse over the template, look in the lower right corner of the template. If it says free, you're good to go. If it has no symbol at the bottom, you're also good to go. But if it has a little crown symbol or has a crown and the word pro, well, then Canva will charge you to use that element. And this is how Canva makes their money, by charging for different design elements. Everything in this tutorial, though, will make use of absolutely free elements. It won't cost you anything to create flyers using the elements I'm going to show you. Sometimes I think the hardest part of creating a new flyer with Canva is figuring out which template I want to use. It feels overwhelming to have this many choices. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to select a template that's big on text and bright in colors, and I'm going to stay away from anything that has images. You can search through the templates if you've got a specific theme in mind. For example, let's say your club is having a Hawaiian shirt night. Type Hawaii in the search box. Some of these templates might inspire you. I'm going to back up over Hawaii and put dance. Let's see what's out there. I'm going to pick a template I have used before. It's got nice, bold contrast. It's got some simple design elements. And it's got some very nice, strong fonts. Once you find a template you like, all you need to do is drag it to the center part of the screen. I'm clicking on the little template from next to the menu, holding my left mouse button, and I'm dragging it to the center of the screen. Now, let's take a look at the flyer we're going to recreate. I got this flyer off of Facebook. It's an honest-to-God, real flyer talking about classes that started back in January 2020. I'm going to put this flyer and my Canva screen side by side so that I can edit the Canva flyer to say the things the original flyer says. Now, the name of the club needs to be on the flyer, but it doesn't need to be as prominent as the original flyer. What needs to be prominent on the flyer is what's the most important thing you want the viewer to see. In other words, what do you want to draw the viewer's eye to first? In this case, it's not the name of the club that's important. What's important are that classes are being offered. To edit the Canva flyer, I'm going to double-click on the element I want to change. In this case, it's the big orange text, which currently says Dance at Flow Groove Dance Studio. Double-clicking on this highlights the entire text. I'm going to start typing what I want that text to say, which is Square Dance Lessons. It's the biggest font on the flyer. I'm going to reserve that for the most important thing. In this case, Square Dance Lessons. I'm going to click the middle of the flyer when I'm done typing to deselect the area that I'm working on. So let's put the name of the club on there now, but let's put it above the Square Dance lesson text. Again, I'm double-clicking on the element I want to change. I'm going to type the entire name of the club, and I'm going to put the word presents at the end. Notice the design is automatically wrapping the text around. Once I'm done, I'll click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. Now, on flyers, you always want to include what, when, where, and who. You also want to include why, but in this case, why is really also the what. So we've got the why and what already. That's the Square Dance lessons. So let's go with when. According to the existing flyer, the lessons are going to begin on January 8th, 2020. They've got plus lessons starting at 6:30 and beginner class at 7:30. Now, they don't show an end time for the beginner class, so I'm just going to assume it's a 2-hour class. Let's go down to the bottom right corner of the Canva flyer and double-click on the white text there to enter our when. Now, when I typed that information in there, Canva automatically wrapped the text and dropped the ending time to the next line. I'm not a fan of having information span 2 lines. So let's adjust the text size a little bit, make it a tad smaller, and see if we can't fit all of this on one line. I'm highlighting all of the text by holding down my Control button and at the same time pressing the letter A. That selects everything. Up at the top of the screen is the name of the text. It's League Spartan. Next to that is the text size. In this case, it's 18.7. And let's use the minus button to the left of that to reduce the font size until the text fits on the same line. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'll click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. We've got why, what, and when. How about where? Let's go back under the main Big Square Dance Lessons text and double-click where it says we have classes, etc., and put the location. Once I'm all done typing, I click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. Now let's do the who. Who should be the contact information: name, phone, email, website. Fortunately, the existing flyer has all that information. So let's go down to the bottom right-hand corner of the Canva flyer, double-click on the orange text there, and enter all the contact information. Once again, we have too much information to put on one line in that Facebook group information. So I'm highlighting all of the text by pressing Control A. And let's go adjust the font size again. Up to the top of the page, click on the minus sign until the text fits on one line. There, perfect. I'm again clicking the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. We've covered the important stuff: why, what, when, where, who. But the existing flyer has more information than we've added to our new Canva flyer. First off, it seems important to the club that their instructor be named. So let's go back up to the address part and put the instructor's name. I'm double-clicking on the text. I put my cursor at the end of WA, Washington, and press Enter twice so that I can put a blank line in between the location and the instructor name, and that helps it stand apart. Once I'm done typing, I click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. In the original flyer, they mentioned that the cost is $5 per person, but the first 2 weeks are free. But that can be confusing if someone doesn't show up the first week. Will they think their first 2 weeks are free? So the way around that is to put the price, and then it's a pleasant surprise to the visitor when they don't have to pay upon their visit. Let's put the price under the hours. I'm double-clicking on that portion of text with the hours, coming down to the end of the text box and pressing my Enter button to go to the next line, and then I click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. Now, the last bit of information that's on the original flyer, honestly, I wouldn't include it. For new and experienced dancers. Well, if you're offering a plus class, that's for experienced dancers. If you're offering a beginner class, that's for new dancers. That's already understood, and it's implicit. As is all are welcome. That's also implicit. Has any club ever turned down anyone? Putting all are welcome leads to this question: why is this being specifically mentioned? Is there a time where all are not welcome? As far as casual dress, experienced square dancers know that's a distinction between traditional square dance garb and regular clothes. But new dancers won't know that. What else would they be expected to wear except casual? So me personally, I just omit all that information. It's all superfluous, and it just adds more text, making the flyer busy looking. No one looks at busy, text-heavy flyers. So, all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and put the information on here anyway because I have a couple other things I want to show you. It is, in my opinion, the least important information. So let's put it at the very bottom of the flyer under the Facebook link. I'm double-clicking the orange text there, going to the end of the text box and pressing my Enter button twice to add a blank line in between. Notice how the text is automatically scrolling up to give me more room to type. Once I'm all done typing, I once again click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that I'm working on. In the cases where I typed Craig Abercrombie's name and then the blurb at the bottom of the screen, I offset that information by having a blank line before the information. But what if we want to offset it even more? The easiest way here would be to change the color. A change of color tells the human eye, hey, this is a different kind of information. Within Canva, it's very easy to do. I'm double-clicking on the line with Craig's name. I put my cursor at the beginning of the line by hitting my Home key, and then I hit my Shift button and press the End key to select just that line. Go back up to the top of the screen where the font information is. To the right of the font size is the letter A. It's underscored by a line colored like a rainbow, and that's the color palette. Click on the A. These are the default colors that Canva provides. At the very top are 4 boxes under the title Document Colors. Those are the colors already in use in the document. I'm going to click the orange box to change the color of the text to orange. Then I'm going to come back down to the flyer and again click outside the text to deselect the area that I'm working on, and you can see the color for that line has been changed to orange. Now let's do the same for the last bit of information at the bottom of the page. Let's change the color to white. I double-click anywhere on that text block. You can use your mouse to highlight the entire area if that's easier for you, or if you prefer to use your keyboard, the cursor is represented with a blinking vertical line. With the cursor on the top line, press your Home button, hold down your Shift button, and then press your down arrow a couple of times to highlight the entire text area. Go back to the top of the screen and you'll see the A is now underlined with just an orange line. Click on the A, then click on the white box to the right of the orange box. Click the middle of the flyer to deselect the area that you're working on. And there you have it, an attractive, eye-pleasing, and eye-catching flyer with bold and bright colors. You have the why, what, when, where, who, everything a viewer of your flyer needs to know about your event. Now, once you have it created, you need to put a copy of it on your computer. Canva allows you to download the file in multiple formats. Let's go through some of them. Click the Download button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. The default selection is PNG. That's an image format. If you're posting this flyer to social media, use this format. Simply click the purple Download button and pick a spot in your computer to store it. Canva names the file based on whatever the first words in the document are. In this case, Canva is naming the file to R square D squares and Round Dance Clubs presents.png. If you're posting this to your website, then let's use a JPEG instead of a PNG. JPEGs are smaller and they'll load faster than a PNG. Click Download. Under File Type, click the down selection arrow and choose JPEG. Hit the purple Download button and again find a spot on your hard drive to save the file. For all practical purposes, you can't post PDFs to Facebook. That's why you downloaded the image format to post to Facebook. But if you're going to need to print out these flyers, you're going to want a PDF file. Once again, click Download, use the down selection arrow, and pick PDF Print High Quality Multi-Page Document, even though you only have one page here. Click the purple Download button and find a place on your hard drive to store the file. Well, that's the end of this video tutorial. In the second tutorial, we're going to play with some graphics files and do some magic text tricks. In the third video tutorial, we'll build some flyers from scratch, pulling in background images from places other than Canva, and we're just going to go hog wild. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section on YouTube. I invite you to check out SquareDanceTech.com and WeaveTheRing.com. Thank you for watching.